And that was like...
Went straight out afterwards.
Yeah, to be fair, we went straight out to Turtle Bay afterwards, so...
Thank you, mate.
Sweet.
You want to do yours again, Dan?
Yeah, mate.
Cool. There you go. You stick that on.
Cheers.
You do it 'cause I don't want to break it.
Being mugged off going off first.
Oh. That felt good.
Is it welfare or well-being?
Well-being.
Well-being. I got told off for welfare the other day.
Yeah.
My name's Daniel Naylor. I'm 22 years of age and I'm the wellbeing rep for the Futsal Society.
Hi, I'm Alex, 21 years old, and I'm the football first team captain.
I'm Matt, I'm 21 as well and play football first with 40.
My name's Connor, I'm 23 and I study sports business and marketing.
Last time I cried is because I miss my best friend, because she was someone who was basically like my big sister all throughout university. Now that that's not the case anymore, that as in that she's not with me anymore, it just, yeah, it comes up from time to time.
Last time I cried was after my 21st birthday pub golf. I can't really remember why. I came back after the night out and my best mate from home recently has been diagnosed with terminal cancer. And he's just said something that was quite sad but also quite cute to my girlfriend. And then she told me at the end and just set me off, which normally it probably wouldn't, but again, alcohol induced, it probably had a bigger effect than normal. But yeah, that was the last time for me.
So the last time I properly cried was it's a happy story. It was when my niece was born. So when she was born, I didn't think I was going to cry because I didn't cry a lot of things. But then as soon as I saw her, I just never felt that emotion before, and I just couldn't help but just bawl into tears. And I cried pretty much the moment I saw her to the moment I gave her back to my sister when I stopped holding her.
May have just gone, I unfortunately lost my mother, and as a result I've dealt with a range of different mental states, I guess. There have been times where I have been on the floor screaming to when I am completely numb to emotion.
The last time I cried was back in November. So I was diagnosed with autism in 2017, and since then I had many ups and downs. And so there I had a down with some of my flatmates in which sort of I didn't understand their jokes, and so I felt a bit left out. I try to work on it every day. Sometimes it gets too hard, and so I need to cry because it helps.
The last time I cried was probably when my dog died, and then he just got ill and I just couldn't make him better. But when I got the phone call to say they couldn't keep him going, I just broke. My mum was like, yeah, we got there. He woke up from, because he'd fallen into a coma, he woke up from the coma, literally like put his paws on my mum and then just went. And yeah, it's just like ruined me completely.
Last time I properly cried was, I think the last time I saw my dad, which was quite a few years ago now. We had a bit of a rocky relationship, and I was at my grandpa's 80th birthday, and he was there. I didn't know he was going to be there, and I hadn't seen him for a few years prior, and it really upset me. Like I had a proper breakdown.
So the last time I had a bit of a cry was probably the last BOP actually, when I was, leaving. Come the end of this, my final year at uni, it's going to be quite a sad time. Probably going to shed a few tears, saying goodbye to all my, the family, the hockey team.
The last time I remember was New Year's Eve. I think it was that I looked back at the whole year and it just hadn't gone the way that I wanted it to go.
So the last time I cried was actually very recently. It was actually on Saturday. But the reason is that my dad is good health condition and he's now up for a operation. So I got quite upset about that.
Just before coming back to uni for semester 2, when I left my little brother to come back here,
when I was leaving him, I really wasn't happy to do it because he's very young. So when I left, he got very upset about it. Then as a result, I kicked out crying and was very emotional about it. And I had to say my byes and leave the early hours of the next morning. So I never got to say goodbye to him properly.
Probably a few weeks ago, last time I was battling depression. So that's something that fluctuates in and out of my daily routine.
So we'd been on Ascot for a day out there and we'd all had a bit too much to drink, and I think it was just a build up of stuff that had happened outside of the day, and it kind of just, everything just bags itself up, and then just got to the point where I had a few much to drink and you just kind of let it all out. But to be fair, I cried in front of a couple of the boys and no one cared.
I'm Jaffa, I'm men's hockey social sec. Last time I cried was at Bop last Wednesday because I missed Country Road, and then the lights came on and Bop was over, and I was really sad about it.
The last time I cried, properly, I've cried over football loads of times, but would have been when my grandpa died of cancer in the hospital. Unfortunately, I couldn't bear to be there when they cut off his life support. You can try and hold back the tears as much as you want, but they just come out when it's family related and things like that.
Last time I can remember was probably at a funeral, which speaks for itself, I assume. It was my mum's best friend, and that was not last Christmas, just before, about 2 years ago, Christmas before.
Last time I cried was actually when my granddad passed away, and I think I'd lost my nan maybe the month before as well. So it was a bit of a downer to the end of the year. Sort of, well, hit rock bottom for the end of the year for me, that was.
It was New Year, and it's because my I was on holiday, and then I got into what's it called? Like a water sports accident, and my mate very nearly died, but he's alive now, so it's cool.
I lost my dad like 5-6 years ago to cancer, and he was like the person that made Christmas. So when it gets to Christmas time, me and my mum just get a little bit sad. That's probably the last time I cried because he's the one that always put up the tree and done all the Christmas stuff, and then now it's a bit sad when it gets to Christmas, but that's probably the last time that I did cry.
One of the main stigmas around men crying and boys expressing their emotion in a negative way is that it's not necessarily that we're taught not to cry, but I think it's more that we aren't taught to cry.
I think it's almost worse if you cry around like your other half. So when I've had obviously leading up to the funeral, I cried in front of my girlfriend, and that made me feel worse than if I'd have gone out for a pint with the guys. So I cried to them, they cried to me. It just kind of bounces to and from.
So you don't want to burden, feel like you can't burden your girlfriend?
Yeah, it's almost my issues. I don't want her to deal with it, whereas all the guys are here for each other without even saying it.
I know this whole stigma attached with you shouldn't cry because you're a boy, but I think it's rubbish. Everyone has emotions, it's life. Crying can be a good thing because then it shows you've got emotions, and it sort of helps other people that maybe feel the same way, that they're allowed to cry over things like that as well.
If things are getting you down, it's okay to release some of that stress, and I know it helped me